Hey guys, in this video, I will introduce you to a programming language that we will be using in this particular course. And I will also demonstrate how you can use an online programming environment to write some of the commands that we will be using to write our computer programs. Thus far, we have been making use of flowcharts, and we've also made use of algorithms. And these played an extremely important role in that it helped us to think in a very logical way as we were going about and solving our problems. So these flowcharts and algorithms are involved during the problem-solving phase in terms of knowing and understanding how we want to go about crafting a solution to the program or the problem that we want to solve. Once we have completed the algorithm or the flowchart, because these are tools that we would use, you would use one of the two tools. So once we've completed that, we then need to translate the algorithm or the flowchart into a computer program. So that would be the next step involved. So let's look at this computer programming. And the first question we should be asking ourselves is, what is computer programming? Well, it's basically just a set of instructions. It's just a set of instructions, but these instructions are written in a very specific way that the computer will understand. And in executing these instructions, we are actually solving the task at hand. And once we've solved the task, we can then display the required answers that we want to. So that's what computer programming is all about. It's a set of instructions that are written in a certain way that the computer can understand to go about solving a task and then to display the answer. Now, when you are writing these instructions, I've indicated it must be in a very specific way that the computer can understand. And if the computer is not able to understand, then you end up with errors. That is why we did not start immediately with computer programming. And we first started with algorithms. And we started with flowcharts. Because these tools don't come up with errors whereby we can get bogged down with these errors, and they can distract us from the actual solving of the problem. So we are able to focus when we are working with algorithms or with flowchart. Our main focus is on the problem solving and not with any type of errors that can arise, as you will see when we are writing our computer program. Now that we have an understanding of what a computer program is, how do we go about writing the computer program? Well, the first thing is we need some type of an environment in order to write the computer program. So for any programming language, you have to have some type of an environment that allows you to write the program. For this particular course, we are going to be using Python programming. So that's the programming language that we are going to make use of. There are many other programming languages such as Java. You also get Delphi. So these are just some of the programming languages. We're going to make use of Python. Python is an extremely popular programming language. Using Python, we can develop software. So that's software development. We can also do web development. And nowadays, Python is used a lot in the area of data science. So these are some of the areas where you could use Python programming. Let's just talk a little about the environment that you can use in order to write your Python programs. So what do we require in order to write our programs? Well, the first way is we could just download software. We could download software that allows us to write Python programs. So there are many different types of software that you could use. You could download them, install them on your computer, and then you could type your programs on your computer and you can execute them. If you don't download the software and install it on your computer, we could then use an online environment where we can type our programs. We can type them online and we can test them online. But obviously, if you're using an online environment, then you must have an internet connection. For this, the nature of this course, we will make use of an online environment to type our Python programs. There are many different online environments you can use. I am going to show you just two environments, and you can decide which one you prefer, and you can use one of the environments to write your Python programs. So let me give you a demo of how this can be done. So I am going to go to my Google Chrome, which is my browser. So that opens up. Here we can Google CodeChef, and it takes us to the website www.codechef.com. Rather, it finds the website. I can click on CodeChef, and there's a menu option that says Practice and Learn, and we can select the first one that says Code, Compile, and Run. So this is the environment that it's now taking us to, where we can select the programming language. There are multiple languages that you can choose from. I'm going to select Python 3.6. And this is where you are now going to type your computer program, your Python program. There is one line of code that's already there for you. You can leave it there, or if you wish, you can delete it and start from line 1 where you can write your code. I am going to type print, and you will notice it finds, this is called your IntelliSense, where it finds reserved words that you may want to use. You can toggle between the two, and once it's on the one that you want, you can just press enter and open a bracket, open a quote, and I am going to say, hello world. So that's my message. After typing the program, and this is just a one-line statement that I've written in Python, in order to determine what this statement would do, I'm going to click on the run, which is at the bottom, and it's going to check for any errors in terms of how the statement was written. And if everything is correct, the output is at the bottom. Here it says status successfully executed, and it displays the message that we requested it to display. In this case, the message we needed to display was hello world. In this instance, let's search for online GDB. That's also an online programming environment. So there it is here, GDB online debugger, compiler, and this is now a very different look and feel compared to CodeChef. But this is the environment where we write our lines of code. Again, we can write code for many different languages. So the first step is to select the language, and this is where I will select the language, and I'm going to select Python 3. And this is now the interface that it comes up with. We can delete all of this. We can delete it. And we now have a blank interface, and this is where I can now type. Print again, it has the IntelliSense, and you can move between the two that it's found. And once I'm happy with the one I want, I can press enter. And I'm going to bring in my brackets. And again, I'm going to say, hello world. So this is the program that we have now written. And the next step is to be able to run it. And here is the run button, which will check for errors. And then if it's free of errors, we will get our output. And there is the output at the bottom. This is our output window that says hello world. In other words, it prints whatever we have between the quotes. So you can decide when you are given a task and you need to write code in Python, you can decide whether you'd like to use CodeChef, which has this particular environment, or you can go to Online GBD, where you have a different look and feel. Whichever environment you're using, that's not important. It's more important that you write the code correctly and the code works. But whichever environment you go on, make sure you choose the programming language, and then you can write your code. I hope this video helps you in knowing and understanding about the programming language and the environment in which you need to use.